The Democrat Party is reshaping its campaign strategy in hopes of becoming more appealing to voters this time around. One America's Meghann Dyke looks at how they're working to tip the scales in their favor in 2020.
Democrats are in need of a viable 2020 contender to face off against President Trump, and a moderate may be their answer. The party may be looking no further than former Vice President Joe Biden, a classic centrist Democrat who leads in polls among other 2020 hopefuls as an undeclared candidate. The DNC is desperate to avoid a redo of 2016, where it nominated former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton over Senator Bernie Sanders and spurred the anyone but movement. The base also accused their party's leaders of hijacking democracy.
I wouldn't vote for Trump, but I would waste my vote third party, hoping that Hillary doesn't win.
I can't in good conscience vote for Hillary Clinton, so if she is the nominee, I will vote for the Green Party candidate, Jill Stein.
It's not just random millennials. It's anybody who cares about democracy who should be upset about this.
The move to back Clinton ultimately cost the election for Democrats and inspired calls to abolish the Electoral College. Political analysts have long debated the viability of Clinton's campaign, both before and after her loss, and seem to agree that 2020 once again makes the case for a moderate. Such a contender could be found in Biden, whose congressional voting record aligns with the views of the largest Democrat voter demographic, the baby boomers. He touted his record while in office during a recent appearance in Delaware, where some took his remarks to be a hint at a potential 2020 bid.
I know I get criticized. I'm told I get criticized by the new left. I have the most progressive record of anybody running for anybody who would run.
But his pivot to a progressive message may be short-lived, as candidates are looking to come out victorious in a crowded field that seems to be moving more and more to the left. But the general election is a different story, where moderates and independents will be the deciding factor. Biden has historically championed middle ground policies and has avoided voicing support for far-left ideas, like universal health care and free college for all. However, his candidacy could fall flat among millennials who have increasingly sided with liberal progressives, much like they did when they supported Sanders over Clinton. Critics of Biden say former Congressman Beto O'Rourke could better bridge the gap between older and younger voters, given the 46-year-old's growing popularity in a relatively centrist platform.
We cannot be found wanting at this moment, and we cannot do it by half measure or only half the country. It has to be all of us, Republicans, independents, and Democrats alike, rural and urban communities coming together to squarely face these challenges.
The DNC recently moved up presidential primary dates in Nevada and South Carolina, states better representative of the national Democrat voters. Both states present diverse demographics, especially in the perennial swing state of Nevada, and give the party an earlier look at a candidate's public favorability. Liberal politicians and their supporters are now reaching out to would-be voters or voters who haven't participated in elections in the past. This was especially apparent in the case of former gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams in Georgia. The former state legislator canvassed in parts of the state with the fewest registered voters and formed a grassroots movement to improve numbers.
We have seen unprecedented turnout in this race from people who normally do not engage and do not vote. Some of that has been driven by the conversations of voter suppression, because one of the best ways to encourage people to use something is to tell them that someone's trying to take it away.
Although her attempts didn't pay off, with her loss to then Secretary of State and current Governor Brian Kemp, her campaign made a lasting impact on members of her own party. Abrams received the most votes of any Democrat candidate in Georgia's history. Whether it was because of her strategy or the state of the country is unknown, as the 2018 midterm election saw the largest voter turnout across the U.S. in more than 100 years. If the trend carries over to the 2020 presidential race, then the DNC has a chance to capitalize on it, but only with an electable candidate. Meghann Dyke, One American News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.